Hi all. So welcome to another day on this JMeter journey. Uh, as a recap, so we are now discussing this end-to-end recording and the script enhancement for user issues, and we have discussed till this point, right? So first we'll finish that and then talk more on this other thing, and then there are some doubts. So I'll take the doubts also. So we'll quickly finish the user registration. There is not more left. Right. So in user registration, right, uh, so what we did till now, so we fixed this stuff, right, with help of functions, and so that we avoided the unnecessary test data creation, and we have seen that as well how it is working. We even ran for 2 users. So now the beauty is like anytime I'll be running, this request will not be failing because every time new user ID will automatically be created, right? And that is the basic functionality of this request. So that is why I said that it is very important to understand the functionality of any application, because whenever we are uh, like trying to understand, okay, the functionality of under why it is so important. That's why it is, because suppose this request was failing earlier, now why it was failing, right? So that we have to know what is the more parameter or important parameter we need, because here as per the functionality wise, here always we have to provide the new data. Okay. So that's why until unless we understand the functionality, you will not be able to prepare a good script, because in script if the request fail, then you'll get a stuck what is happening, why it is failing. Even suppose there was a dynamic value, and I have said that fixing of dynamic value is very important, because if you do not fix the dynamic value, that request will not be entertained. But what I shown in the last day, that we did the correlation for that, even though this was failing, because there are some other detail for this request which was mandatory, right? So always remember that working on any flow, try to understand the functionality of that. Okay. So again, I'll just run this and you'll see again that request will pass and will not be have any issue. Okay, see, with this request, enter store, you see, enter store and save. It's passing, it's not throwing any issue. Enter details and save. Yeah. Right. This is by one user and this is by another user. And it's passed. Always the registration is now. Okay. Fine. So this is done. Now is left. We are on register now page. Okay, and like user registration or register now page. Okay, so we have given the assertion for this here, that was already done, and even we extracted the value, we use RSA, and this value we substituted here. Fine. Okay. Now next is this request. So here few inputs needs to be put in. So we prepared the test data or we handle them using function, that is done. Then we are not extracting any value from here. Fine. Now what we have to do is we have to verify the response. Parallelly, we are doing everything, correct? So right click here, go to add and response. Now what you will verify here first on this. See, the entire details and save, the number 30 is actually redirecting request. Okay. You can check in application or you can even check in recording log. So this number 30. Number 30, see, number 30, there is no response because, right, if you see 302, correct? It's redirecting. So here we cannot verify anything. It is carrying the payload, but always remember redirecting request can carry the payload, right? We have seen that in UI also, but they will not be having the response, right? So here what will verify? Again, we can verify the status code or response code, which is 302. Then uh, so that is done. Only one assertion is fine for this. Next assertion we are getting in like response we are getting in the next, which is 13. Okay, so 31 is the request here. Okay. So response we get here. Now what you will verify? So I'll understand that when we fill all these details and when we click on save account information, right? So this page actually come back again to this page only. It reverts back to this page. I hope you have observed that. Or if you want to be sure, you can always fill and click on that save. It will come back to this page. So means this is the response, right? So what you will verify here. So here you can verify two things again. The sign in button, because we are going to click on this sign in the next transaction. You see here, sign in, and this logo, right? So re-verification. So this I'll take from enter store because we have the same thing over enter store, the sign in button and this logo thing. So I'll just copy this assertion as it is. Control control. This one. So reusability. Okay, many things we can reuse, right? It's not like that every time we have to work, but just we have to remember or understand. So hope you guys understand this, right? Now, after this, we are going to sign. So enable the sign in transaction. Um, now from sign in, the sign in. Now in sign in, if you see, we are extra here in next request after signing, which is login. If you see, there will be again two values. So they has to be extracted from signing because they are dynamic value. And what is the rule for dynamic value? We have to always look back, and generally 90% cases it will be there in immediate previous response. So you'll get them, right? So you know them how to handle, right? So please do that, extract those two value and put it here. Right? We have already done here, register. So same name, value is same name, we can put the source page ID2, FP ID2, right? For this, right? Source page ID2, FP ID2. They repeats, so you can do that. So I'm just changing them because I know those value are same. So that's why I'm doing it again. But you should do it because uh, like you will be practicing. So better to do that properly. Here I'm saving my time because this is not new. If it is something new, I'll always explain. And this is the repeating thing and nothing is different. Even this value will work same as it is. We have to just change the variable name. Okay. But generally you should do that and try to see it or check it. Then only you'll be having idea. Okay. Yes. So yeah, so this has extracted, right? And we have replaced the values here with the variable in parameter form. Plus here RSA has been used, right? Uh, because we have to stop the user if this request fails, right? So RSA. Now this assertion for signing. Right? So assertion for signing is like when we click on signing, two things. One we can give for this, and since we are going to do login this time, so we can give the assertion for this login. So one is this and one is this, right? Because next transaction is login. So that please do that. Okay, I will just copy from for the booking scene. So I have copied that name for please enter restored, and then register. Okay, see register now is good. Sign this that here. This one we will delete. Only one assertion element. Value we can keep 3, 4, but assertion element only will be one. When you are extracting multiple value, you can use multiple extractors. Okay, but assertion generally only one. In that only you can put 2, 3 values. Okay, so this is the text and downside the code for login, right? Text and down. So this login now. So this completes. So parallelly we can do all these things. Next is about login. Okay. So login here, login 34. We had two values, dynamic value. We have fixed them. Right? Now this number, okay, username and password, this credential. So understand what we are doing in that flow. If you remember, we first did the registration, and then after registration, the response, the page reverts back here. Then we go to sign in, and then we sign in with the same user with same credentials, right? Same username password with which we have just registered, correct? To check that whether registration is happened or not. That is the flow. So same thing here. So suppose I ran this script. When we did the recording, right, in the last session, on that is on Friday, that time uh, this was the username and password which were registered, correct? If you see the Jojo, and this was the password. Okay, and with that same credential, we try to log in, and that's why it's showing it. But now, whenever you'll be running this script, always the registration will detail will change, because every time new user is getting registered. Every time new user is getting registered. So this credential, which is this user who is trying to register, that credential, we have to put it here. Then only we will be sure that the user which got registered here, whether he is able to log in or not, right, or whether he is successfully sign in or registered or not, right? That is the whole purpose. Fine. Now, how to do that? Okay, so a small trick will tell you. See, whatever the credential that is used here, the username, which is this, and the password, which is this, we have to use it here, same. Okay, that is the only way. So how to do? So if you see the Jojo word, we kept same. So here also the was same. Then whatever the number it is generating, it is stored in this variable, right? So this variable will copy that and we'll put it here in parameterized form, dollar floor basis variable and floor basis tools. Then so this is username done. Now come to password. So password is what if you see. It's a combination of the string, random string, right, that we created and the random number. So a string that is getting created is stored in this variable and the number is here. So which is getting repeated in repeat password, right? Rand string and rand number. Right? So the same thing we can copy and right. Now, so this way, we will be sure that what user registered here with the username and the password, we will try to log in with uh, same user details, same username and same password. And then we'll try to log in, right? And then we will be sure whether logging is happening, right? And again, how we will be sure? So we have to verify through assertion. So we'll do that. First, let me just run and show you. You can see here, login has passed. So this is entered credential. So this is the credential. I'll just copy them with which registration was done. Now here login is getting done with same data. And he must have received welcome message. Check. So this login has two requests. This is first and second. This is redirecting. So there is no response. Response is here. Welcome. The same fellow is registered here. Same number. You see 17. Last is 9835. Sorry. 9835. Okay. So this way, we can call that thing and verify. So this is also done, completed. Right. Now, adding assertion here. So login first request is, I'll just copy login assertions from product booking scenario. First is 302, so I'll copy 302 and paste it 302. And second is welcome message, the sign out code, because whenever the user will log in, the sign out code will come and the welcome message. This one is not required for this. Two values here, no? Sign out code and welcome message. Because the user when logs in, sign out code become visible and this comes, right? So done. Okay. Now last one is sign out. So in sign out, nothing is there. Just the session. So we can copy the session from sign out here. Generally, please try to add them and understand when you are working. You know why I'm copying pasting, because it will be same for sign out. Few transaction are same. So that's why we keep common transaction name same and everything same, because their response will also be same, right? That is the main purpose. Okay, so almost everything is done now. So what we have completed here, uh, we have done everything. We have done fixing of dynamic values. we have a we now ran for multiple different users, right? And we ran for multiple different user and multiple different set of business data. Right? We have added assertion also, and let us, and then we have applied error handling as well, RSA element also parallel. Yeah, RSA element has been added. Here one change with RSA. No, wait. RSA is added. Correct. RSA is if we are extracting any value, we apply RSA. Correct. So here RSA is added. In login, RSA is not added. We'll add it because suppose the user fails to log in, then no need to run this or this, right? So um, we have even done that in product booking. If you remember here, login RSA is here. We can copy this first request and RSA and stopping the user stop thread, right? And one thing here we have given user and username field, right? So actually this is for product booking. Here it will change because here we will give it this form. This is the username. So we done user Jojo and that thing. So please let me know what this point is also clear or not. Why I'm replacing because there when we are logging it here, okay. So here the username thing we are calling from this data file. So this variable is coming from there. But here also it's same thing. If the user will fail, this user is failing to log in, we will stop the user. So RSE used and we will give the failure message, right? Failure message. But here that variable we changed, right? Because this time the username is this in this way. So that's why I changed it. So that's what. Do not directly copy paste without understanding some change. That's why try to add it by yourself everything. Right here, just to save my time, I have copy pasted because everything doing again will take so much time. Fine. So done, right? Error handling also done, and assertion we have done. We'll just run it for two user and verify that. For two user and we'll see everything is working fine. If any problem, red will come. So now, this all done. Stabilization like for two user I have done. If you wish still five user, we can run. Required test data is not required for this. Good data. Now come this deleting the JMeter sequencing for this each request for all common transaction, right? Plus keeping the transaction and their request same. So that we will do. So in this, if you see home page, this I'll delete number again. So, These are all common. This register now enter details is not found. Here also we can sign. Now here, see, understand. Sign on request. Here it is like this. Here it is like this. This number if you delete. So both is same. Okay, but only name we are changing. So what we will do? It can create confusion. Okay. So either the same thing, same name, you can put it here as well, right? Here, or you can delete this part of this so that it looks with same as this. But if you're deleting here, you have to delete here, this sign. Better, I'll prefer to put like keep them transaction and request names so that in report same result comes, right? Result do not get segregated or right. So home page done, entrance to sign in done. Here also sign login as well. Login this number. And, so if you see why I'm showing that, suppose login only, if you see both request name, why we deleted? So it looks same on this is product user. So why we are making so? Suppose we will be running test suite. Test suite means multiple scenario, user registration and product. I think previously also I have shown that in whole complete way. So in report it should reflect same name and that number, right? Okay, that's why we keep their name same. The request name and transaction. If you keep this different, then what will happen in report? Two login will come. It will show one login and one login. Then you have to explain to your client or your manager what are two logins doing there. So that become difficult, right? And that is not a realistic scenario. The login API are same, right? Endpoints are same. So why to keep their name different? Fine. And last is sign out. So you can sign out the number. So we'll delete. So this transaction 1, 2, 3. Again, this is getting repeated 3 and 4 and 5. They are same repeating. So we have done that. For other, no need to do. Like this or this number, no need to delete, or this here enter detail and save, no need to delete because they are not same. Only which are same, we have to do that. Not for all, right? So that yeah, I have clearly written here. Very clear. Needs to be done only if there is a plan to run test suite, and we have to only do for all common transactions. Okay. Now, parameterization, right? So before we do parameterization, I'll copy the user-defined variable element of this, and from product booking, I've selected and I've copied, and I'll click on user registration and paste it here. Okay. So that the variable name and value remain same, and they will be same. Like that. Now, it's, this is not mandatory, just for a better hierarchy. Yeah. Because team time pacing we rarely change, or very there will be like very less like very less time will be changing this way. That is the issue. I'll also reduce the time because we have to do execution, right? Because giving so much think time is not good. Generally, how much the think time you have to give, you have to decide. Here, why I have reduced? Because I have to run the test and I have to show you fast, think fast, right? Because we will be running with less time, right? But in real time, apply the think time which is genuine. Means what you think or what will be as per your application scenario. So that think time you have to. Why I have reduced here? Generally, this is not correct value. Remember, for this our JPET store also, because minimum time on JPET store anyone will take will be minimum 6 to 10 seconds minimum, okay, or 5 to 10 seconds. So that is minimum. Here I've reduced. Why? Because I have to run the test and I have to show you guys, right? So if we give the think time more, what happens? Test will take more time to complete, right? That's why. Like suppose I'll give you a 10 seconds for an exam. So you see how slow they will run, right? This all transaction. See how slow they will be. After 10 seconds, all requests will be hidden, correct? But in real time, the good way to do is the real think time. Like what will be the realistic that will. But since I have to run the test, I have to show the thing fast. I cannot use 10 seconds, correct? Or minimum or 5 seconds also because it will take so much time to run. That's why I have reduced. Okay. Uh, but please do not reduce. Use the genuine think time, what you think in real project. Just practice purpose, use it less. Okay. Otherwise, only what happened? More think time, more less time, more time it will take to run. Right? That's what. That is the reason. In real time, we have to use the genuine think time for practice. We'll go next. Fine. So this all value done. Now parameterization. So very quickly we'll do that. Control F. I'll all keep this from here. Next one. This, this, code. So you protocol URL port got. Now here. So here. And here CSV test data. So here we are using countries only. Mm. Actually, I've copy pasted because why? Because those are same. The variable and the values. We can generally do it from here. Just to save my time, I'm just copy pasting from there. Okay. We are using countries here, so this will not need. This. And so this must done. Fine. Now parameterization of all this has been done. Remember, in future, all these will be replacing using P function. That is the best way to do. For now, we have done them using simple way. This thing that we see here, this value, they are in simple way, variable and value, variable and value. That is simple. But going forward, we'll convert them to P function. Okay, but not now. Right? Now, save a final file and so test one is user registration V1 and 57. Okay. Now next think time. Just add the think time. So how to add think time? Right click on simple control. Add think time to children. Pacing. Right. So last think time will act as pacing. So you can change this. You can put the variable pacing variable which we have created here. Add here for a fixed pacing. Right? And this timer will disable only for pacing, because pacing either you can use fixed or random, right? So if you want to use random, then you can play with this value, and if you want to fix, you can control from here. Think time generally are random. Okay, this all you know. So I'm going to cover them again. Now last thing, delete unnecessary stuff. So, I think this HTTP test is good for now. We do not need to delete that. Usual tree also disabled for now. You can add one more list for information, but disable it. So I've disabled. So done. So finally, user registration scenario is also completed, and this was put up. Now, before I go and we talked about some other thing. So done, right? User registration done. Okay. So now I'll just explain more on times function, right? And then I'll take the questions. Then we will see. I'll just give an idea of this, and I'll ask you guys to complete. And login probably will see today or maybe tomorrow, because some questions are also there, which is important. Fine. So let me first finish this time function. Okay. So time function, as you know, that what it does, correct? So time function generates a epoch time, right? Uh, and epoch time. Now, sometime in script also you'll see epoch time. So wherever you see epoch time, you have to replace that with function, time function, simple. Epoch time are of two types. Okay, one is of 10 digit, which is only till seconds. So if you want to generate a 10-digit epoch, uh, you have to give your divide by 1000, right? And like this. Okay. And if you want to generate the 13 digit, 13 digits, so that is simple, without anything. It is going to generate the 13 digit epoch, right? Fine. After that, the time function can do many other things. It can generate current time, current date as well. Okay. So if you want to generate current date, current time, you have to just give the formatter. Okay. Format means MMDDYY format, just like that. So suppose I want to generate current uh, date, month, and year. So DD dash MM dash YY 4 wise. Okay. So DD date, month, Y triple wise, 4 wise for year. Now you can play with them. I think I've covered there also. You can change date to here, month to here, right? Year you can keep also first. In whatever the formatter you give, in the same way, the date will change. Even the separator. So suppose here the separator I use a hyphen. You can give this as whatever separator, right? So that all you can do. So this is for date. Suppose current time you want to generate. So HH colon MM colon SS. So this, if you give this, it is going to generate current time in 24-hour format. So if you see, this is current time, right? Current time, exact time happening, right? Now, if you want to generate AMPM also, so here give A, so it will generate AMPM as well, right? A. from where to get idea of all this, I'll tell you first understand. Now, suppose this HH, if you keep in capital letter, so it will generate 24-hour time. So see, this is 24-hour time. In 24-hour time, AM, PM, we do not know. So this delete, A you can delete also. Right? So 24-hour time. Again, here also the separator I have used as column, right? Here you can change. You can use any separator. So how you are giving the format string here? You see format string. Same way it will be generated. You can generate date, year, date slash survival, and all this together as well. You see. So this is about time function, right? It generates epoch time. It generates current date, current time as well. Now, next is when we use that. So I just said in our script, when there is somewhere epoch time is there, correct? Uh, right? Like here, suppose here enter details and continue. If you guys remember, we had to pass a random date, expiry date. So only in month and viva. So we generated random date, right, using random date function. But suppose here you have to pass current date. Understand? Current date, today date, or today time, or epoch time. So how we will do that, right? So that time time function will have, because it can only generate current date, current time, or both. Now there is a time shift function as well. Time shift function generates future date and past date. So it will take today date as a default. So if you see here, yeah, date to shift option default is now. Suppose in the format, let us give first the in first thing you will give formatter. So dd dash mm dash y by. So this is current date, right? Now I want to generate 5 days future date from current date. So I'll give P5D. Here P2D, simple P plus 2 days. So plus 5 means 5, right? So here P5D. So here I'll write P5D. So it will generate 11 years. 11, basically 11, right? Same way, back date also we can generate. So back date, I think we use minus. I'll maybe I will be wrong, but I'll see. Minus P5D. Minus. Okay. We can generate uh, whatever future seconds, future minute, future hour, future date, or back days, back hour, back minute. So like in so this is date done. Um, suppose hours, right? So HH mm SS. So this is current time. I want to generate 2 hour ahead of now. So P2H. Um, I I have forgotten. Not an issue. I'll tell the page where everything is written. Don't worry. So from there we'll get all that. So all things will take go to our cost matrix page only. Time. Mhm. That's, Okay, we'll do time function. JMeter, what's a time function, time sequence. Okay, both are on the same page. So here we'll get about time function, right? So whatever this input you will give, this is the output, and this is the description. So anything you can check, even short, 2 length, 3 length month, right? Sometimes suppose it is needed, so we can generate, right? Full full length month we can do, right? Even Wednesday, Tuesday, all these things also we can do here. If we give like that, it will generate this way, right? So you see, so many things are there. Anything you need help, because we cannot remember everything, right? So just go through that. No need to remember everything. No one asks question from here, but just have an idea like what time function can does and how it can help. So anything related to current date, current time, in which way you want to generate, we can do that. And what is the input that needs to be given, right? uh, that all we have to just keep. Like for an example, suppose Wednesday, right? So this 4 is, so where we have to give that, right? Simply in here, time function, and here give 4 is. So it will generate Monday, right? Like that. Okay. So this is the input that we have to give, and this will be the out. Now below that only be about time shift function here, the time shift function. Okay. So here it's there. This is P2D for day, P2H, PT2H, yeah, PT. For hour, we have to write PT and then 2 or 5 whatever. Okay, PT. And for minus, minus. Okay, here minus 2 minutes, minus 2 hours, right? So that way. Now, when this will be helpful? This can be helpful, minus plus. Suppose there is a scenario. I'll tell you in hotel booking. You'll get the idea. Where suppose there is check-in date. So you are visiting some place tomorrow. So your check-in date will be tomorrow, and your check-out date will be, suppose you want to stay in that hotel for 3 days. So after 3 days will be check-out date, right? So how we will generate that, correct? In the script, because suppose you have to run a hotel booking script, you have to book the hotel. So you have to fill the detail for check-in and check-out. So suppose today will be check-in for an example, or tomorrow will be check-in, and after 3 days check-out. So plus 3, right? Plus 3, correct? Like that. So that is about time shift function. Now, next, I'll take some question. So let me know if you guys have practiced anything on weekend. So if you have any question, so I have some questions also from Watson. So I'll try to answer them. Whatever the question. So just a second, I read it out. Okay. So first thing is, why is CSV file is here and user defined variable is there? Okay. So the CSV file, why we are keeping inside thread group? Because uh, thread group means scenario. Okay. Now, so different scenario will have different test data. Okay. Different scenario will have different test data. So that's why, or every scenario will have its own cookie also. Okay. Every user will have its own their own cookie as well. So that's why these all things kept under inside the scene, or this inside the scenario. Correct. But this thing which is there in user defined variable, this stuff is common for all the user or across all scenarios. Because URL, whatever the URL is there or whatever test data file, it is not going to change, right? It is not user dependent or scenario dependent, right? Whether you are running on testing environment or performance test environment, right? This will be same. So this thing that we keep in user defined variable is not user specific, right? It is uh, our application is specific or our test is specific, correct? Test is script is specific. So that's why we keep them over here at one place. Plus one more valid reason is there that I'll tell you. But for now, this is little bit uh, uh, in simple way I'm telling. Plus, and every scenario will have their own test data. So that's why test data file is inside this scenario, or this scenario is having their own test data. Now, next thing is about user-defined variable, more concept. So if you remember in the last session where I was explaining think time, what is think time, and then in that I was giving introduction of a scoping rule. Okay, so there is two rule in JMeter, execution precedency rule and scoping rule. So what happens is this anything that we put in user defined variable, their rule, okay, their scope is uh, everywhere. Everywhere you can call them or use them, right? So because of this nature, we put this over here because this all we need everywhere, right? Suppose this, right? This suppose I'll have to run two scenario, which we'll be covering soon. This preparation that we will be talking. But for now, I'm doing here. See, one user registration, one with product. I want to run both in same time. So I have to keep both in same script, right? Like this, correct? Then only I can make, okay, 400 user will be running this, 600 user will be running. Okay. So when you keep inside this, then only if you see, so this scenario test data and everything inside that, and this scenario, this all thing is inside that. But think time um, and the URLs, correct, user ramp up, this will be common, right, for every scenario. So that's why we put them globally. Correct? Currently, these scripts are designed to run individual. Means suppose this is a individual plan. This is individual plan. Right? So if I run this, so only a product booking will be running. Correct. And if I run this, only user registration will be running. But sometimes we have to run all multiple scenario at a time. So that is where we prepare test suite. Okay. So that is one question. Then next question is timers on FCA. So what is that timer and FCA?
Well, one question. So, what if
Hmm.
two scenarios shares the same test data? Then we have to put it under the test plan, right?
You can put or you can keep separate also, not a problem. Suppose your countries is there, right? And here also countries. Let it be to do that much worry about it. It will
Okay.
not create any problem.
So ideal way is to keep them in each thread group. Is it?
Ideally is in keep yes,
Okay.
because again you have to move that. That is extra work, and that is not mandatory, right? So if anything is not mandatory, or if anything is not breaking any stuff or any rule, or not degrading the performance or not blocking any stuff, then no need to worry about it. So suppose country is required in both, so you can keep here, but again you have to move there. Or if you do not move and keep them as it is, there is also not problem. So no need to worry.
Okay.
So Nachan, you are there. So what is that query about timers facing? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Correct. So right. So why we use FCA in think time? That is what the question is. Because if you see in that particular video, I have FCA is a sampler. Okay, sampler means request. So if you right click anywhere, you'll see sampler, and there are so many samplers here. Okay. Sampler act as a request. Even this HTTP request you see. So all our request is a HTTP request sampler. Okay, HTTP request sampler, and all sampler behavior is request, means they will get executed, and we'll see all will act as a request. You see the request. All different samplers are used in different purpose, but the main sampler which is used in all places we use them or we are using them, which is HTTP one, because HTTP protocol is everywhere. All right, it is in web services, microservices, web application, then mobile, everywhere. Right, so that is there. A few other sampler will in future we will be using will be FTP. Right. SMTP is for mail and other thing. You can read it. OS we will be using SMTP is here, and we have used some debug sampler and other thing are for just example purpose for other thing. So few other we will be using WebDriver sampler we will be using Selenium WebDriver using. But yeah, the main HTTP for HTTP protocol, right? And that is the main one. Okay, so and that's why you see this all request this where it has been captured here, HTTP. Now the sampler means sampler runs and they get displayed in the result. Okay, all this if you add them, all you also add them anywhere. You create a blank script and keep on adding all these sampler. I'm not adding all, but yeah, for an example, all, and I'll use FCA and I'll add listener. So suppose there are 4 sampler I have added, but when I run, you will see 3, but not FCA. See, this is failing. This is actually that you need to put something FTP. No access log. Third number HTTP. HTTP, then access log. So access log needs some input, so that's why it's not displaying itself. But yeah, and then we have FTP, right? And after that, what is the FC? So FC is only sampler which runs, but it is not displayed in the result, right? And that is the reason they have come up with this idea, because there is no think time, or they have not implemented anything called think time in JMeter, right? There is no such option. So they have added 2 elements, and because of this region, that one is FCA and one is UIT. Now what will happen, as I said, that in that video also if you see that suppose one user only, one user, right? So suppose we run this. So what will happen, that first home page will get fired, as you can see here. It's near, then why it's not here. The routine name is also correct. Okay. Um, um, uh, this user registration scenario is has went inside archive. It has to be should not have created is here. I'll move it out. The final script that we saved, right? should be outside. This one go inside. So these two are final. So actually, what this file went inside here, and the test data was here outside. So path was not matching. Right? The path has to match. Okay. Fine. So if you see, first home page will fire. But now wait is happening. Now why that wait is happening? Because FCA is getting fired. But what will happen before FCA, timer will come in picture, and there is a rule. You will get that idea about that rule. We have a separate session here. Yeah. Okay. See, this is the rule, element execution rule. So if you see, request and sampler is here. Okay. So if a request is getting fired, before that, three things comes in picture. First config element, then preprocessor, and then time. Preprocessor are not many to use. We do not use that much preprocessor. Uh, there are not many also to use, right? But first, always config element will come in picture, then preprocessor, then time. Okay. So actually, that point I have to cover in last. That time it will be more clear. But I covered now, and I should have covered in last. That time it will be more clear. But no, not well. So if any request get fired before the timer comes in picture. Okay. So that's why if you see, timer is added here, right? And timer is inside this FCA. This is FCA, and inside the timer. Okay, means this timer is will only affect this FC inside. So inside means its scoping rule is like this. So it will only affect this. Okay. So now what will happen once home page got fired? After that, FCA is about to fire, right? But what will happen before the timer will come in picture, because timer runs first. The request is three element. This is request. So three element before and three element after. Okay, that is the rule. So timer will come. Now timer is generating some time, whatever time. Okay. And it will make this wait for that time. Okay. After that, once that wait is over, so this will get fired. Now, once that gets fired, but we do not see it, right? Because FCA, we do not see that. So here also you do not see FCA, and but it has fired itself. Okay. And then after that, immediately next request will fire. Interest. Re-interest. Again, after interest, again FC is there. So again FCA, because next thing time, right? So again FCA is getting fired. But again, what will happen? Pause. Timer is there. The timer will generate some time. It will make this FCA to wait for some second. And once that wait is over, then it will get fired. So it will get fired, but we do not see them, right? See it. So that's why after interest, we see signing. So think time is a hidden thing. That's why it doesn't get displayed, right? Because think time is a wait time. It is a wait, right? Why we do not see it, but it is there, right? That is how it works. Okay. So anything else? Hope it is clear, right? Right, Mitsu? No, no. Advantage of hiding this you are saying, or huh? Mm. Correct. I got your answer. So you are asking like why we are using this, and why not inside the request use the timer directly, correct? So that also I've explained in that video. First thing is hiding one by one timer in each request will be time consuming. Here it's become very simple. Right click and it got added, right? First thing. But that is not important. Important thing is, suppose there is two requests. Suppose here two requests, and inside that request, suppose you are adding a timer, okay, like this, okay, or a constant timer only, right? So now what will happen? This will be there, and suppose constant timer, you are given a time of 10 seconds here, 10 seconds. So what will happen? Okay, before login first request, 10-second gap has to be there, which will act as a think time, right? But problem will be before second request also a 10-second gap will be there, which is unrealistic scenario. Before before two things. Before first request also a 10-second gap, and before second request also a 10-second gap. Okay, so that is unrealistic. We can do that here. So suppose here 10-second. Now this is suppose login, right? So it has two requests. So if you see, so there is gap. Now gap is started. Okay. So that is fine. So before first request, let us say a login transaction. So a 10-second gap, but this got fired. But what about here also a 10-second gap? So that become realistic. That's why that is not used. They will know. Which another positive point is, if that is outside, the timer time is not captured. But suppose it is inside, and accidentally if you clicked here, see this, right? What it says that include the duration of timer and pre and post processor. So that time this timer time will also be captured accidentally if you click. Maybe, right? This is because JMeter is very fragile in nature. Here one click here and there, uh, something got happen and you do not know. Its element are very fragile. Like you see this all can, we can move here and there. So it go up, it can go down. Here simply anything can happen. So they are very moving in nature. Okay, so yeah, accidentally you have clicked and you do not know or you forget, right? That time. Okay,
Uh,
so
so,
we'll leave here. Yeah,
well,
sorry.
so does this FCA take certain time to execute? Is it like will it have
No,
some
no, it
performance
doesn't
issue?
take any.
Okay.
No, because it's virtual and it is not hitting anything. What will take time? Suppose this homepage is going to a server and it is bringing the response, then it is calculating the time. But FC is nowhere it is going, right? It's like how air.
Okay.
Means
Okay.
FC is not going anywhere. So simply it get fired like within milliseconds.
Okay. And how we decide a result status action handler, like we need to stop the current execution and we need to do the next look like start the next thread.
Generally, we run minimum 5-minute test. Okay, this is one run we did. But in real time, generally we do minimum 5 minutes, and it can increase up to 1 hour, 6 hour, what. So 5 minutes means we are always will be running next loop only, right? Next loop. So that time, whenever you are extracting a value, that time use this one only. Like, start next thread loop. Why? Because let us say in first loop this request failed somehow. So we will give a try in the next loop, right? Instead of using the stopping the user, right? So that's why. So always this one, and only in login case you can stop the user. This one. Otherwise, go with this.
Okay. So like when we have some major thing, like login is something kind of user won't be able to do anything if it doesn't log in.
That time
So we have to
immediately
find
stop it.
out what is the major thing, and there we can add it as a stop thread.
Two are major. Two are always major because one is extracting the value and
Hmm.
another is login. Because every scenario will have login compulsory. So if test data is not login, then even if you rerun also, it will not log in, right? So why
Yeah.
to rerun? So that
So
time I stop.
what if user first time was not able to log in, but second time user is able to log in? So that can be
But
a
how he
scenario.
will log in?
Like let's say first time there was some internet issue and he was not able to log in, but second time when it comes and it tries to log in and gets logged in.
No, this kind of simulation we do not do. Internet issue, another thing is a human problem.
Okay.
Right? When it comes to testing, it has to be proper, right? So this is not a valid point to take care.
Okay. Okay.
If it is internet issue, you have to rerun the testing. That even in test result also you cannot put, right. Okay, first time it failed because of internet. No, here we are running a test to check the application problems, right? So if it is failing because of application problem, that we have to consider. Internet issue, okay, rerun again.
Okay. Hmm. Right.
The even will not consider those results also.
Yeah. Correct. Thank
Mm.
Yeah, Vallabh, sorry, one question from my side. Like, see, this result status action handler is the same as in thread group also you have the same setting,
Ah,
no?
same, yes, same, yeah,
Okay, just
same
okay.
thing.
They're meant to
So,
be same.
they
Okay.
are meant. But only thing, if you apply anything in thread group, it will apply everywhere. But everywhere we
Okay.
should not stop it or we should not reload. Only few cases. So only that's why in PPT also I have written like smartly we have to do. Not everywhere you can stop the users or you can reloop the users, right? Which is not a
Mm-hmm.
good thing. So that's why we do not play here I have written a word called smartly. Why? Because of the same reason. Suppose you are stopping uh, test here
Mm-hmm.
and one request is there which is not dependent on previous request or maybe it has to fail, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So uh, that kind of thing is not, let us say that home page is
Mhm.
failing and next request enter a story is not dependent on home page, so let it fire like that.
Okay. And one more thing in think time also, if you expand think time,
There also
is it?
these settings are
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah.
they have given this but
Yeah.
some purpose, but let it be. They have given.
Yeah, in this think time, na, why do you give a pause again? Like, because we can give the same number in this duration also, na? Like, can we use the duration here for pausing? Flow control, should we use a
No,
pause separately or
so
what is that
pause
fixed?
is the duration only. How much you want to do the pause. So a
Fixed
static
one.
will become a
Static.
fixed one.
Okay.
Uh, and this will become random.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
there, that is why timer. So that's why in pacing I told that if you want to have a randomized pacing, then you can play with these two value. And if you want to have a fixed pacing, you have to play this value.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
But and in think time also, if you have to have a randomized think time, then you can play this value. And if you have to have the constant pacing, so fixed spacing. So instead of using this value, because everywhere you have to change, so you can uh, play with here only. No need to give 0 and this is what 10 second. So this will only work everywhere, right? Because if you want to have a fixed spacing and want to play, so everywhere you have to play, right? So again, this time consuming.
Okay. So you're gonna go through all these different kind of controllers, no? Like there are like
Hmm.
multiple controllers because no,
Yes.
no, we don't use frequently all kind of
All, yes, yes,
controllers.
correct.
But
Hmm.
yeah, because normally I use transaction
No,
simple and
normal we use this much only. Yes.
yeah, only few things. But I just want to know what other controls also because I have never
Yeah,
used
yeah,
it,
it
but
will be
I wish to know
covered,
every
covered.
controller here.
They,
Yeah, for that.
mhm. They ask, they get asked in on
Yes, yes, yeah.
interviews as well in a specific scenarios
Hmm.
where if
Yeah,
controller issues, how he while controller is while controller is very tricky and very important.
yeah, yeah. So these will be covered in next session. So okay,
Hmm.
okay, fine. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Thank you, Kumar.
Okay. I think time. Just signing.
So did you cover how to calculate this pacing and all? Like, did you cover those? Did I miss it?
Facing, we have a
Pacing
separate session.
calculation. Okay,
Mm.
targeting some transaction. I mean, when we say once we need to achieve certain TPS or something, then how do we calculate that and pacing and yeah, so these
Correct,
things. Okay,
correct.
fine.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just waiting for those things. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Fine. Bye. Take care. Okay. So tomorrow we'll talk about this and this. Then we will talk about regular expression, which will take 2 days. Then we'll do execution. Okay. So we'll meet tomorrow. Bye.